Yo, are we live? Are we live? Are we live? We are live. It's last chance saloon for 8 clubs in the Champions League as we edge closer to the round of 16 second leg. Who's staying in? Who's going home? We'll take a little look at it right here, right now. And we are live. That's right. Let's go.
So after Liverpool's defeat...
And once again, I've got the wrong intro lined up. That was a hot dog. I'm hot dog. You're hot dog. We are live. Right here now. Take a look at the second leg of the round of 16 Champions League predictions. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Champions League related, hot dog related, Blackburn Rovers related. We've got it all here. Nowaroski. That's why we are live, and I'm a little bit all over the place. Got a lot of shit going on behind the scenes this week. The wife just had knee surgery, so she's actually at the physio right now. So let's before we get into the predictions and take a look at how we all got on, I want to say a big shout out to my Patreons, boys and girls. Russell Frost, No Code Drinker, Tom Burser, Tom Clark, John Spurn, Aztec, Marky B Mark, Constable 1976, Mitchell Shoney, and of course the brand new squeaky clean one, Cody Cahoe, is now a Patreon. Kieran Clouty's in the house. LG and Cow is here as well. We're going to take a look at his team, which is Manchester City. So we're going to get there in just 1 second. Somebody remind me at the end of this to change the piston intro on my setup, because that's 2 now I've put in the hot dog. Anyway, let's take a look at it now and see how we got on last time around. I'll tell you what, there's a sea of red about to hit us all, because we all did, except for a couple of people, did absolutely shite. So let's take a look at it. The criteria this time around, 0 to 3, you're in the shit-face gang, and a lot of us are in there. 4 to 5, you make it into the straight-face gang, and 6 plus, you make it in the top banana. Scratch that, there's none of those. There's no top bananas. It's either shit face or straight face. So let's take a little look at it. Yes, see, Elgin Cow's all over it. Remind me then. So this was the games, obviously the first leg. It's now flip-flop for the second leg. We'll take a look at them in a minute. My prediction on the left, the actual score on the right. So it was a 2-1 win for Dortmund in the first leg. I actually went with a 2-2 draw, so we got the one wrong. Chelsea did lose quite convincingly at home. Stamford Bridge 3-0 to Bayern. I actually went with a 3-1 win, so not too shabby on that one. I'll take a little point on that. Real Madrid did lose at home to Manchester City 2-1 in the end. I actually went with a 3-2 win for Real Madrid, so got that one wrong. Atalanta comfortably battered Valencia. Was at 4-1 over in Italy. I actually went with a 2-0 win, so not too shabby on that one. That's all the good news out the way for me. The rest is garbage. Atletico Madrid, they did beat Liverpool at over in Spain 1-0. Actually with a 1-0 win the other way, so I got that one wrong. Napoli did hold out for a draw in the end against Barcelona. I actually went with a 2-1 win for Barcelona on this one. Juventus lost against Olympique Lyon, 1-0 in the end. I actually went with a 3-1 win for Juventus. There's the other red one. And Spurs did lose at home to Leipzig in the end. Actually went with a 2-2 draw. So, yes, absolutely terrible for me. And what about you guys? How did you guys get on? Let's take a little look at it, shall we? Noxley, or Nowley? Noxley, we're going to go with Noxley. He did absolutely terrible. Tristan Sanchez, garbage as well. Tony Jorgensen did absolutely honking. Russell Frost, the Patreon, he did garbage. But respect to my brother for being a Patreon. Blasi D, he did okay for himself. Not too shabby as well. There's a couple of little cheeky ones with edits in here, which I'll let them slide this week. Magic Monday did absolutely garbage. Zane did garbage. Bianca Malablessa did absolutely garbage. No Code Drinker did the Patreon did absolute garbage as well. James Gray only predicted for them. I'm giving them a baby shit-faced gang. Who else we got? Bossio, who was that? Bossio Mattia, he did all right, but with an edit. Yaufer and VMP, he did absolutely garbage as well. Marius Christensen, garbage. LG and Cow in the house, he did all right for himself though. I'll give you a round of applause for that. Nadine Kadanka, not too sure, he did absolute garbage. Victor Fisser did absolute garbage. Cody Cahoe, La Patreon did absolutely garbage as well. So shame on all of us. Ema Kastelic did all right for him or herself. Carl BTW did absolutely garbage. Sachin De Plazid went out and did all the predictions for first legs and the second leg. So far, he's on a shit run. Yannick Buster did absolutely garbage. Who was that one? Blue FC with an edit did straight face gang. There's Sachin, did absolutely garbage with his first leg predictions. He could come back again for the second leg. There's always time to make amends. Ahmed 29 did garbage as well. View Ngungun did absolute garbage. VA Soccer Fan with a whole host of scorelines and everything did garbage. We are QPR, absolutely shocking. There's a couple more for you before we bounce into the second legs. Breakfast Force, straight face gang, not too shabby there. He only predicted 4. He only predicted 4, and he gets in the straight face gang. they do look suspiciously like the actual scoreline. So either he is Mystic Meg in disguise, or he did a little bit of shady business. Tony Marshall scores again, did absolutely garbage. He actually predicted both legs as well. So that is that. So let's take a look at what we're looking at right here, right now. It is, of course, the second legs. A lot of teams on the fringes of getting knocked out of the Champions League. So we're gonna take a look at it. First out of the blocks, it is Paris Saint-Germain up against Borussia Dortmund over in France this time around. Obviously, the first leg 2-1 goes in favour of Dortmund. Get your predictions in nice and early, boys and girls. Get your pickadoos right nice and early about this one. Then let's take a close look at it. BVB up against PSG. That's right. Let me bring up the old information about these two. They played each other a couple times over the past few seasons, just the 3 times. 0 wins for PSG, 1 win for Dortmund, and 2 draws between them. Obviously, they played earlier in the season, or earlier, just a couple of weeks ago. 2-1 was the final score. The last time they played was in the Europa League, and it ended up back-to-back draws. In fact, let me have a look at this. I'm just trying to do... Yeah, so PSG actually made it through to the later stages of the Europa League by drawing against Dortmund, scoring the away goal. That got them through to the later stages. So the last time I played in Paris was a 0-0 draw. That was back in 2010. Heading into this, though, PSG are actually 3 games winning streak. However, Dortmund top that at the moment. 4 games winning streak at the moment by beating Freiburg, Bremen, PSG as well in the first leg, and Frankfurt, scoring quite a few goals along the way. Heading into this, the bookmakers will go with, this is for the odds for this leg only, not to progress into the next leg, but to be victorious on when does this game take place? This game takes place on the 11th of March, which is a Wednesday. Just give me a second while I fire up the odds in a normal language, not in the Americano. So the odds for PSG to be victorious in this leg is 13-8, 10-3 is the draw, 7-2 is the away win. Now, if you want odds on who's going to be victorious to win it overall out of these two sides, I'll tell you right here now. PSG are 10-1. Dortmund are a little bit further away, 25-1. So the bookmakers are going with PSG overall. What are you guys thinking about that bad boy? We have a couple of predictions in the house. Kieran Clouty is going with a 2-1 win for Dortmund. LG and Cal's going with Dortmund with a 3-1 away win. Kieran Clouty reckons they'll go through anyway. Russell Frost, Le Patron in the house with a 4-0 win for PSG. West Ham cyber leaders here. He's going with a 2-1 win for Dortmund as well. For me, I do like Dortmund. I'm actually going to give this victory to Paris Saint-Germain though, which will be, according to my mathematics, it'll say 3-2 win for PSG, and they'll go through to the last 8, which is the quarter-final territory. Against my better judgment, I do like Dortmund, and I'd love to see him knock out a cocky little side like PSG. Anyway, let's kick it on forward to the next one. A bit of an English one. This one, the champions up against Atletico Madrid, coming into this on the back of a 1-0 loss over in Spain. Bit of wobbly form in this one, heading into this. Mendel by Smith has gone with a 3-1 for PSG. Glipsy Mimph has gone with a 3-0 for PSG as well, which would also mean they will go through on aggregate. So, next up, the champions. It is Liverpool up against Atletico. Let's take a look at that one in a bit more detail now, shall we? Coming into this on the back with that 1-0 loss. Liverpool's form, obviously, it's in the public eye at the moment. Absolutely losing 3 times at the past 4 games in all competitions. They did lose to Atletico Madrid last time around. They did beat West Ham. They lost to Watford, which started a bit of a rot, and it's another defeat against Chelsea. They'll take on Bournemouth prior to this game, and maybe even the Merseyside derby. When does this game take place? It takes place on the 11th of March. No, they will play this game before the Merseyside derby. It takes place on the Wednesday. The last 6 encounters between these two sides have ended 4 wins for Atletico Madrid, 1 win for Liverpool, and 1 draw along the way. Liverpool's last victory was a 2-1 win, extra time win in the Europa League back in 2010. That was the last time they played in Anfield. Goal scorers on that day, I'll tell you that right now, was Aquiliani and Benayoun. You'll see Benayoun for Liverpool. Those were the days. Diego Forlan on the score sheet for Atletico Madrid as well. So, yeah, the champions have got an uphill task here, and they could crash out against a very defensive, resolute Atletico Madrid. 2-1 on is the favourite, the odds for Liverpool to win this leg. 29-10 is the odds for the draw. 30-2 is the away win. If you want to be put some money on either of these two sides to win the trophy and become El Champianos, 7-1 is Liverpool. Third favourites, Atletico Madrid, 25-1. Long shots. That's good odds. I think if you want to put a cheeky little bet on it, Atletico Madrid 25-1. That's not bad, because they, ousting these guys. If they just draw, Atletico Madrid are through. And then when you get into the next stage, the quarterfinals, it's anyone's game. They could get Atalanta, which could be an easy ball game. Leipzig could be a little bit favourable. So that's not bad money money if you're a betting man. What about you guys thinking on this one? We're going to start with West Ham. Cyberly has gone with a 3-1 win for Atletico. Rodney has gone with a 1-0 win for the host, which will make it all square, and that means you have to have a decider. Russell Frost gone with a 3-1 for Liverpool, which would give the champions another shot at it. LG and Cal with a 2-1 win for Liverpool, which would make Atletico through. Oh, no way, you got that. You would like that, wouldn't you? You would like that. Kieran Clancy's gone with a 4-0 win for Liverpool. Watford the chaps. Glipsy Man with a 2-0 win for Liverpool, and Rodney's gone with a 2-0 win for Liverpool as well. So the majority of you guys going with Liverpool. A couple of you guys siding with Atletico to squeeze through. I'm actually going to go with Liverpool on this one. They'll need to turn on the flare if they're going to regain this title, which has them at third favourite. So I'm going with a 3-1 win, which will put them 3-2 winners on aggregate to get through to the next stage, the quarterfinals. So champions, hang on in there. Next up, we have Valencia up against Atalanta, probably the biggest hurdle yet to undo a 3-goal deficit. So let's take a close look at this one. Serie A up against La Liga over in Spain. So let's take a closer look. Last time out, obviously, big defeat for Valencia, but they've played one time before in a friendly back in 2017. It's a 2-1 win for Atalanta as well. So they played twice over the course of a few years, and Atalanta picking up both victories. Atalanta have actually won their last 3 matches in the Champions League and have also scored 2 goals in the last 3 matches as well. Heading into this, Valencia's form is wobbly, just 1 win in all competition at the last 5 games. That was against Betis last time out, whereas Atalanta are scoring goals for fun. Goodness gracious me, the last 2 games they've scored 11 goals. Yes, 11 goals. Yeah, there might be. Will there be fans at this one? This one's being played in Spain. If it was played in Italy, yes, closed doors it would be, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm not too sure on the coronavirus effects over in Spain. I know Italy's been ransacked and it's caused all sorts of chaos into this. Atalanta having a tremendous season now in Serie A. Valencia just hanging on in there, maybe getting a last-minute push for Champions League next season, but it could be all doom and gloom for them this time around when they take on Atalanta. The bookies odds on this was 7-4 for Valencia for the victory this time around. 11-4 is a draw. 30-10 is the victory for Atalanta. So it could be a 2-0 win, but it won't be good enough if Valencia are victorious on this game. This game takes place on the 10th of March, one of the first games in the second leg on the Tuesday. It's this game and the Leipzig Tottenham game. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Bookmakers odds to win the trophy overall for these two sides. Valencia are long shots, 500-1, got a big old hurdle. Whereas Atalanta are, where are they? I can't even say it. 33-1. Again, you know what? People underestimate Atalanta. People underestimate Getafe over in the Europa League as well. They're my 2 dark horses to go all the flipping way. Hey, Bianca Muller's in the house. Welcome. We're going to take a look at your Perickaroo in just a minute. We're going to start with on this one. Russell Frost, the Patreon, with a 3-0 win for Valencia. West Ham Cyber Leader with a 4-1 win for Valencia as well. LG and Cat with a 2-2 draw. Goodness over Bats, 3-2. And Liverpool comes back and 2-0. Okay. Someone on my college course has it so because I'm on the course. I've been told to sell, isolate, and I must stay. It's not very... Are you pulling my leg, LG and Cat? Are you pulling my leg? Anyway, Mendel Bysmith with a 2-2 draw. You got me stumped there, LGK. You got me stumped for a second. So a couple of you guys going with victories for Valencia, but West Ham side will go with a 4-1, which again would mean an extra time bonus prize on that one. For me, I think they'll be victorious on this occasion. 2-1 winners over Atalanta, which would make it, what was that, 5-3 on aggregate? Something like that. 5-3 on aggregate. Atalanta cruising, that's right, sailing into the next round of the quarterfinals. Next up we have, what do we have next up on this bad boy? We're going to go with Leipzig up against Tottenham. Obviously, Leipzig coming into this with a powerful 1-0 display in London, but now it's gone to Germany to kind of seal the deal. They've only played each other once, and that was the last time out at the Fancy Pants new stadium over in England. The last 5 matches for Leipzig heading into this, 2 draws, 3 wins in all competitions, including defeats for Schalke, Tottenham, and Werder Bremen along the way, scoring goals for fun. Only conceded 1 goal in the past 5 games, Leipzig, so it's going to be a tall order for Tottenham to head in. Obviously, Mourinho's the wheels come off, and for him in all competitions, the Premier League looks a bust. This looks a bust. FA Cup's gone as well. All kinds of shenanigans going on. 4 defeats on the spin for Spurs heading into this. Leipzig actually undefeated in their last 5 matches in the Champions League. The bookmakers, they'll go with Leipzig on this one as well, taking place on the Tuesday, the 10th of March. It's 3-5 on for Leipzig for the victory. 16-5 is the draw. 4-1 is the away win. If you want to book bet on either one of these sides being victorious, you're going to get long odds on 80-1 for Tottenham. Leipzig are short as 20-1. That's small money right there. Let's take a closer look at it, what you guys are thinking in the chat. Obviously, the 1-0 first leg going in favour of Leipzig. So Tottenham actually have to win this game. They cannot squeeze through on a draw. We're going to start with, on this one, Valencia to draw, that's Rodney. We are QPR in the house. My boys Valencia, 3-0 winners. That was the last one. Daniel's Amazing Objects has gone with a 3-0 win for Liverpool. That was prior. Russell Foss straight in there, the patron, with a 2-0 win for Leipzig. West Ham Sabali has gone with Leipzig as well, 3-1 winners. LG and Cal's gone with a 1-0 win for Leipzig as well. We'll knock them out. We are QPR with a 2-0 win for Leipzig, and Mendel Beismith for the 2-1 win for Leipzig as well. Promise Fabian in the house with the 2-0 win for Leipzig as well. So the majority of you guys are going with Leipzig. I'm sticking with you guys as well with a 2-0 win, and that will be job done. 3-0. Out goes Spurs. Onwards goes Timo Werner and co. Next up, we have the big one. Well, not really the big one. It's Bayern up against Chelsea. Obviously, comfortable, cruising performance by Bayern in the first leg. Heading into this now, going to the Bavarian Mountains. Chelsea, tall order. They played Bayern a few times over the past 15 years, 6 times in that little short space of time. 4 wins for Bayern, just 2 wins for Chelsea. Their last win was back in... When was their last win? They won on penalties in 2012, which I don't think that counts. But the last time out-and-out victory was a 4-2 win back in 2005 in London. I'm trying to look up the goal scorers on this one. Goal scorers: Joe Cole, Frank Lampard with a brace, Diego Drogba as well, Bastian Schweinsteiger and Michael Ballack on score sheet. That's 15 years ago, Sons of Guns. Obviously, the last time I played in Bayern was a 2-2 draw in the Super Cup, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, whatever happens, Bayern are red-hot favourites coming into this with a comfortable 3-0 win in the first leg. But can Chelsea do this? Can they turn it around? Well, their form is okay. It's a little bit rusty when you look at it. Just 1 win in the past 3 games. That win was against Liverpool in the FA Cup. They did draw against Bournemouth, and they lost to Bayern 3 games ago. Meanwhile, Bayern are actually on a nice little bit of a run themselves. 4 wins on the spin in all competitions, including victories over Paderborn, Chelsea, Hoffenheim comfortably 6-0, and Schalke most recently. They will play this game on Wednesday the 18th of March, so there's a bit of time between then. So between then and now, they'll take on Union Berlin and Augsburg. 2 very winnable games for Bayern. Meanwhile, Chelsea have got Everton and Aston Villa in the Premier League before this match. So heading into this, the bookmakers' odds to win this game, and only this game, 11-4 for Bayern on. So that's red hot favourites. 4-1 is the draw. 13-2 is the away win. Bayern, as it stands, second favourites to lift the trophy, 7-2, whereas Chelsea long shots 500-1. So massive order for them to turn it around. We're going to take a look at what you guys are thinking here. We're going to go Bianca Miller with a 2-0 win for the Red Bulls. That's in the last one. Elgin Cow with a 5-1 win for Bayern. Jasper Paul says direct. I don't know what that means, but he says direct. Mendel Beismith with a 3-2 win for Bayern. We are QPR with a 4-0 win for Bayern as well. Russell Frosler Patron with a 3-2 win for Bayern as well. West Ham Cyberly has gone 6-goal thriller. 4-2 for Bayern München. Bianca Miller with a 4-1 win for Bayern as well. Elgin Cow, the penalty win in 2012 was the Champions League. It was, yes. Jasper Paul has gone with a 2-0 win for Atletico. That's a couple of ones back. Promise Fabian the 2-1 win for Bayern, and I believe in Dortmund just need a healthy Haaland. Bayern scored 6 the other day without Lewandowski. Yep, they are scoring goals for fun at the moment against Hoffenheim. And again, I don't see anything but a 4-1, quite convincing win for Bayern in the end. Ethan Hawkins jumps in with a stream with a 2-0 win for Liverpool to turn the corner over Atletico and get through to the next round. But this one, we're talking about Bayern. They're through comfortably in the end. That makes it, 7-1 aggregate win for Bayern. Next up, we have Barcelona up against Napoli. This is a tight one. 1-1 after the first leg over in Italy. Now we go to the Camp Nou with these 2 bad boys locking horns. So let's take a closer look at that one now, shall we? Where are we? So Barcelona against Napoli. This takes place on the 18th of March as well. These 2 sides have played each other 5 times over the past 9 years. 3 wins for Barcelona, 1 win for Napoli, 1 draw along the way. They did play last time out, and the goal scorers on that occasion was Dries Mertens for Napoli and Antoine Griezmann on score sheet for Barcelona. Arturo Vidal getting himself sent off on that game as well in the lastminute.com. The last time I played in Spain was a 4-0 win for Barcelona back in 2019. It looked like it was a friendly. Don't really like friendlies. You can't really take anything from a friendly. But anyway, the form heading into this, reasonable form between these 2 sides. If you take a look at the last 3 games for both these sides, Barcelona picking up 4 points in their domestic leagues. Scrap that. That's a terrible stat. In fact, the last 4 games for Barcelona, 2 wins for Barcelona, 1 draw and 1 defeat. That defeat was the El Clasico last weekend. Meanwhile, Napoli come into this on a bit of a revival with Gattuso leading the way, leading the charge behind the pulling the strings. 2 wins for them, 1 draw. That draw was against Barcelona. That's right. The bookmakers' odds on this one taking place on the Wednesday, the 18th of March. It is 9-4 on for Barcelona. 15-4 is the draw. 5-1 is the away win. Barcelona currently rank at 4th favourites to win the trophy. Actually, 3rd favourites alongside Liverpool, 7-1. Whereas Napoli, long shots at 100-1. That's not bad odds, you know. If they again, it's only as a draw, a 1-1. No. A 0-0 would see Barcelona go through. A 1-1 would make it go to penalties. You know what? It's not too big an ask. I think Napoli have what it takes to cause an upset. But really, is it going to happen? Well, let's take a little look at it. We'll start with Elgin Cao with a 2-0 win for Barcelona. We are keeping our same scoreline as well. No away fans. I see what you said. No away fans at the Camp Nou. So, yeah, it'll be heavily one-sided within the crowd. Mendel, Biosmith with a 2-2 draw. Russell Frost with a 4-1 win for Barcelona. We at West Ham Cyberly, there a 2-1 win for West Ham. What am I talking about? For Barcelona. You wish, buddy. Vinay Wanai with a 1-1 draw and an extra time Messi magic for the win. Mendel, Biosmith for the 2-1 win for Barcelona. Ethan Hawkins, 1-1 draw. Extra time. Napoli score 120th winner. Well, promise Fabian, the 2-1 win for Napoli. I want a major upset, but I think there'll be a 2-2. Barcelona wins. If it's 2-2 on the night, then Napoli will nick it on away goals. So if it's 1-1 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate, then it will go that. Yeah, Mendel, leave her alone. Anyway, so I'm going to go with a convincing 3-0 win. As much as I would like to, alongside you, Bianca, see Napoli upset the odds and throw out one of the big boys, I don't think this is the match. So 3-0 in the end for me. Barcelona to nick the tie on that leg. 4-1 on aggregate, and away goes Barcelona into the knockouts, or deep into the knockout stages, into the final 2 now, and it's Elgin Cow's boys, Manchester City up against Real Madrid. Here we go. This is where we could see, definitely one of the bigger boys going out of the tournament, and it's already one foot in the next round for Manchester City after their 2-1 away win at the Bernabeu last time out. Last time I played at the Etihad was a friendly. Not really interested in that. The last time I played an actual real deal game in England at the Etihad was a 0-0 draw back in 2016. Yeah, so they've not been that powerful. Manchester City have not been that dominant in England over Real Madrid, but they do come in with a 2-1 average or 2-1 aggregate lead at the moment. 2 away goals. They're massive. Heading into this, obviously, Manchester City look decent at the moment. They are just blitzing past everywhere, every team whatsoever. They just disposed of Sheffield Wednesday. I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday. Of course, they won their first bit of silverware as well, beating Aston Villa at Wembley, 2-1 in the League Cup. And then, of course, they did beat Real Madrid way back when on the 26th of Feb with a 2-1 win. Meanwhile, Real Madrid look a little bit wobbly, but they do come into this on the back of El Clasico. By the time this game takes place, they'll take on Real Betis and Eibar in La Liga. So their recent form, though, prior to El Clasico, was 2 defeats and 1 draw in all competitions. So they're not the greatest. They definitely have got vulnerabilities. Man City actually undefeated in their last 8 matches in the Champions League and actually scored at least 2 goals in 13 of the last 16 matches as well. We're going to start with, on this one, the odds for the day. 7-4 on for Manchester City to be victorious. 17-4 long shots Real Madrid. You don't see that very often. 16-5 is the draw to lift up the trophy. Manchester City are the favourites. 11-4 to be victorious and host the trophy above their heads. Where Real Madrid are 40-1. There's some money right there. There's some money to be made. It is just a 1-goal margin. However, I think Real Madrid would need to beat them 2-0 to be victorious, and I don't see that happening. It's going to be a tough old one, this one, to call. What are you guys thinking on this one? Let's take a closer look at you guys. We're going to start with Mendel Smith with a 2-2 draw. West Ham Cyberlido with a 3-1 win for Real Madrid. Elgin Cao with a 3-1 win for Man City as well. Going the other way, Russell Frost with a 2-2 draw, which will see Man City through. Ethan Hawkins with a 3-2 win for Real Madrid, which will probably see them through as well. We are keeping up with a 3-1 for Manchester City. Vinny Wani, 2-1 win for Madrid. Real Madrid goes on penalties. Russell Frost, we keep having the same. You're cheating. That's why you're cheating. You keep looking over each other's phone notes. Promise Family with a 2-2 draw, which again would send Manchester City through. This is a tough one to call, lads. Tough one to call, but I'm going to side with on this one. I'm going to go with Manchester City to nick it 2-1, and that will send the multiple, 11 times winners of the Champions League. Real Madrid, they're going home. That's right. So comfortably in the end, that's a 4-2 aggregate win, and that will send Manchester City into the last 8. Could it be their year? It could very well be. Next up, and finally, we have Juventus up against Lyon, heading into this over in Italy. 1-0 aggregate lead for Olympique Lyon. obviously, permutations with the old coronavirus causing all kinds of problems with attendees at this game. Taking place on the 17th of March. That's one of the, is that one of the earlier games? Let me see. Yeah, it's one of the earlier... no, it's not. No, it's not. It's one of the second batch of games. So anyway, the last 6 encounters between Lyon and Juventus have ended up 4 wins for Juventus, 1 win for Lyon, 1 draw along the way. That 1 win was last time out. It was a 1-0 win over in France. Last time they played over in Italy was a 1-1 draw back in 2016, also in the Champions League. Goal scorers on that day: Gonzalo Higuain from the penalty spot and Corentin Tolisso on the score sheet for Lyon. So, you know what? They ain't no slouches. Meanwhile, heading into this... Lyon come into this on the back of 3 wins and 1 defeat. That defeat was a 5-1 spanking last time out against PSG. Whereas Juventus come into this on the back of a couple of games that have been postponed. Obviously, the game against Bologna postponed. The big one against AC Milan was also postponed as well. And also the game against Inter Milan was also postponed. 3 matches postponed. So they're getting a bit leggy, getting a bit tired. Will this game actually take place? Will the game on Saturday take place against Lecce? Well, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. Let's take a closer look at the odds on this one. The odds go with Juventus is 5-2 for the victory, 5-2 on. So they are red hot favourites. 65 is the draw. 8-1 is the away win for Lyon. Bookies odds to lift the trophy. Juventus are 5th favourites, just shy of PSG, 12-1 to be victorious. Whereas Lyon are long shots, 80-1 with a lead. They have a lead already. If it ends all square, they're through into the next round. And again, probably no home fans, no away fans, no fans. Period at this one, right? If I'm right, we're going to start looking at your guys' Brian Handers with a 3-1 win for City. That's in the last one. Adibaliu Bukakara with a 1-1 draw for the draw. Russell Frost is going with Juve on this one, 3-0. West Ham Cyberleader with a 4-2 win as well. Mendel by a 4-2 win for Juventus. Mendel Biosmith with a 2-1 win. Adi Babakaka with a 2-0 win for Juve. We are QPRs with a 0-0 draw, which would send Lyon through. Vinay Winai with a 2-0 win for Juventus. Again, that pushes them through. Promise Fabian, 2-0 win for Juventus, which sees Ronaldo go through. Ethan Hawkins with a 2-1 win for Juventus. And I believe that means Lyon goes through. That would be it. That would be the surprise right there. West Ham Cyberleader, Manchester City lose. There is no cups for 2 years for breaking the track. That's true. That's the rumour. LG and Cal's going with a 2-1 win for Juventus, and again, that would possibly see Lyon go through, right? Yes, it would. Don't text or drive. City wins and Juventus wins. That's right. Brian Hernandez with a 3-1 for City. We've already done that one. Tharo with a 3-1 for Juventus as well. Brian Hernandez 3-0 or 3-1 to City. Ronaldo 3 goals. Anyway, that's your guys' picks. I'm going to show you mine. I'm going to go with a comfortable 2-0 win for Juventus. No surprises there. I'm going to go with the majority of the big boys here. 2-0 for Juventus, which make it 2-1 on aggregate. Now, do I have a slide with yes? This is what will end up if my predictions were to come on in. These are the 8 teams that will make it through to the quarterfinals. Obviously, these are not the draws. I don't know. I don't think they've done that just yet. The permutations, but out of that, the favourites would be Manchester City, still 11-4. Bayern would be second favourite, 7-2. Liverpool would be third favourite, 7-1, alongside Barcelona. They're all already in there. PSG, 10-1. They're in there. Who else have I got? Juventus, 12-1. Leipzig are 20-1. And then is that my last team? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got one more. Atalanta, they squeezed through 33-1. So yeah, the major upset, I guess, out of all that, I don't know. I don't even know who is the major upset. I guess Real Madrid, big boys, but against Manchester City is kind of a like for like. Anyway, yeah, if that is the draw, and maybe if one of these 8 clubs is your team, just like LG and Cal said, if you're a Manchester City fan or a flipping Liverpool fan, who would you want in the next round? It looks like the easiest sides would be Leipzig, would be Atalanta, and then the rest are all a little bit tough. Gets a little bit nasty after that. It's been a bit nasty. That's the bit of seals in the house. So yeah, that is that. That's what it looks like at the moment in the old Champions League. That's my predictions. Get your predictions in now, nice and early, so we can take a little look at them. And then we'll do it all again for the quarterfinals. Once the draw goes and takes place, we'll take a little look at it. Tomorrow, I'm going to be live again for the Europa League. It is the last 16 first legs on that one. We're going to take a look at that. And also, yeah, be sure to give this video some love and smash the old thumbs up. And if you are new, smash the subscribe. We do this every week, live shows, left, right, and centre. And also check out the other predictions while you're at it. The Premier League, the Bundesliga, Serie A, La Liga. We're going to all hear under one Ruski, boys and girls. Also check out the old description, links to my other social media platforms. Twitter, just broken 1,000 followers. So I'm happy with that. If you want to join the gang, there is a link there. Facebook, I do stuff on there as well. And also Patreon. If you want to become patrons of the channel, give us a little bit of extra support, there is a link in there for the price of a bottle of water. I would have I'm going to have a prop next time and say a bottle of water. You can join the exclusive VIP Patreon gang, which includes the likes of Russell Frost. He's in the house. No Co-Drinker, Tom Barrow, Tom Clark, John Spurn, who's been the daddy since the get-go, Aztec Marky B Mark, Constable 1976, Mitchell Schoening, and of course Cody Coho. And that's it. That's all I've got for you folks. Any football questions before I go? Before I got to go pick up the wife, I got to pick her wife. She's on the old physio. So any football questions? Who do I think will win? I'll throw that one at you. Who would I like to win? I'd like to see somebody like Atalanta, or no, I wouldn't say Leipzig, but Atalanta to go out all the way and win it. That would be something spectacular. But if I had £1,000 free, a free bet, and I would have to throw it down on the table and say, these boys are going to win it. It smells like a Man City victory at the moment. It does smell like a Man City victory. But you can't write off Bayern. You can't write off Bayern. I'm going for one of the top two favourites, and I think Bayern would have the edge, even though I don't like. I think if I had to put £1,000 or £1,000 on a team, it would be Bayern to win it. That's what I see. Europa League predictions. We'll see them tomorrow. I can't spoil it. Can't spoil it for you. Who do you think will go down in the Premier League? Well, West Ham. It ain't going to be West Ham. It's not going to be Watford. I think Norwich are doomed. I think Bournemouth are a little bit slippy, and I think Brighton could also get sucked into it as well. It is very tight over in the old in the old Premier League as well. And it's also tight in the old playoff race for the Championship. And I'm hoping Rovers can do us a solid this Sunday and get ourselves a little bit closer to that dream of getting back to the Premier League. Anyway, I'm going to go. Going to pick up the wife. I'll see you all very, very soon. I enjoyed the stream. It was very good. I'll see you tomorrow for the Europa League. Until then, I'm off, skis. Enjoy your nights, your evenings, wherever you are. I'm gone.